So this is the best way to structure your Facebook ad campaigns. And I guarantee if you follow the structure that I'm going to outline in this video, it's going to make your ads perform better. It's going to be easier to analyze the data, and just generally is going to get you a better return on your ad spend. So we actually have a 4-phase approach when it comes to launching, testing, and scaling different campaigns. But in this video, I'm just going to focus on phase 1 because that's where we can just outline the structure to begin with. So you can see here, and instead of going into the ad account, because the ad account isn't the best way to look at something because you have to go into individual campaigns. So I put it on this diagram just to give you basically a bird's eye view of the campaign, and it should make it actually a lot clearer for you. So you can see here that we have 3 main campaigns to begin with when we launch our ads. And the first campaign is a warm, the second is a cold interest, and the third is a lookalike. So we separate those different targeting types into different campaigns. So campaign number 1 is your warm. So this is people who have already engaged with your business. So this could be social followers and email list, and just different followers of you online and your business. Number 2 is the cold interest. So this is actually the interest targeting within Facebook that you can select at the ad set level. And then we have the lookalikes, which is obviously lookalikes of your custom audiences, where Facebook goes out and finds people similar to that look like the data that you present them. So let's have a look at it in a bit more detail. Now, if we tackle the first campaign first, so that is the warm campaign. So typically what we do is start off with one campaign, and then inside of that campaign, we start off with 4 different ad sets. So ad set number 1 is a remarketing list. So this is if you have an email list, we upload that email list to Facebook and create a custom audience. We have all website visitors. So we typically do 180 days. So people who have visited basically your pixel. So we do all pixels, all website visitors. And if they've visited a website that has your pixel on it in the last 180 days, they're going to be in that audience. Then we also have an Instagram engaged. So that can be 180 days or 365 days. And then we have a Facebook engaged. There's obviously a million different things you could do. You could have like 30 days, 90 days, all that sort of stuff. But honestly, it just gets super complicated, and you actually don't need to do that stuff. Just keep it simple. Have these 4 main pillars: Facebook, Instagram, pixel, remarketing list, i.e. emails, and you can just build your remarketing or your warm campaign off those different types of audiences. So we typically just have those 4, unless we're going to test some ninja stuff later on. But that's all we start with. And then within each ad set, we have 3 ads, right? So you don't want to have 5 or 10 ads within an ad set, because what's going to happen is if you have the budget at the ad set level, if you have too many ads in there, Facebook isn't going to give each ad enough budget on enough spend to test it correctly. There's no point having an ad set budget as $5 to $10 a day if you have 10 ads in the ad set, because they're not even going to get $1 a day each equally. And there's going to be a lot of ads in there that aren't fairly tested. So we found that the sweet spot is to have 3 different ad sets 3 ads within one ad set. And we typically have our ad set budget in the testing phase, set between $5 to $10. And it's crucial that you actually don't go any further than that. I have made another video on why this is the case. I won't go in that today, but you need to make sure that your testing budget is between $5 to $10. And that's what we do. So we have the 3 ads. Now, those 3 ads, they are different. They're not exactly the same. So you can see here that we have ad copy 1, ad copy 1, ad copy 1. So in this instance, we're using the same ad copy. So the same text, the same copy for each ad. What we're testing here is the image. So we're testing the creative. And you can see here, it's image 1, image 2, image 3. So in this campaign, there's 2 levels of testing. Now, it's important that you only test one thing at one level at one time. Let me explain what I mean. So at the ad set level, we're testing the audience, right? This is why it's called phase 1 is audience identification. So we're testing which warm audience is working better, because each ad set, the only differentiator is the warm audience. And at the ad level, we are testing the image. We're testing the creative. So the copy is exactly the same. The headline is identical. and we're testing which image works the best. So at each level, we're only testing one thing. There's only one variable. And that's essentially the strategy we also take into the other campaigns. So if we look at our campaign number 2, this is the cold interest. So this is the interest-based targeting that we can use within Facebook. And it's exactly the same as campaign 1 in terms of its structure, except that we use more ad sets. So typically what we start with is 10 ad sets within this campaign. And you can see here at the ad level, it's exactly the same. Each ad set has ad copy 1, ad copy 1, ad copy 1, and then image 1, image 2, image 3. So we're testing the same creatives, right? And we're testing the same structure. We've just got more ad sets because there's more cold interests to test and see which one works. So here you can see, and this isn't set in stone, this depends on the client and the customer and the business and the offer, but we like to split it up between public figures, market interests, competitors, and different tools and software, and then anything that they like to do socially. So for example, if I was targeting digital marketers, then public figures would be people like Russell Brunson, Grant Cardone, Gary Vaynerchuk, people like that, right? They would be public figures that my ideal customer would potentially follow. And there's generally more of these public figures on Facebook as an interest you can target. That's why 3 out of the 10 usually go towards public figures, just because there's actually a lot of them to target. It's like one of the most popular type of interest-based targeting, especially in like the online business space anyway. Less so if you're into different physical products. Then we've got market interests here. So this is just general interests of the market. So again, if we were doing like a digital marketing, we could have advertising campaign. So people who like running advertising campaigns. We could have people who like digital marketing. That might be quite broad to target, but you get the point. Just targeting market interests of our ideal customer. If we were doing like a fitness offer, we could target like bodybuilding. We could target keto. We could target whatever type of diet you could do, right? You could target lots of different stuff. So that would be the interest. And again, there's typically a lot of these out there. So 3 out of the 10 typically go towards market interests. We usually do one campaign called targeting, which is targeting competitors. So if you are able to target some of your competitors, if they have an interest that is available to target at the ad set level, then we would do that. It's not always going to be available, but obviously you can. If you're selling a weight loss program, you could target Weight Watchers or someone like that. Or you could target another PT or another famous personal trainer. So we do a couple of competitors. Again, it depends if there's a lot of them available to target. For some products and niches, you're not going to be able to target any of your competitors, so you have to do some of the other stuff. We do tools as well. So for example, again, digital marketing, I would target ClickFunnels, Infusionsoft, MailChimp, ActiveCampaign. If you're in the e-commerce space, you could target Magento, Shopify, stuff like that you know your ideal customer will be using on a day-to-day basis. We target the companies that own those tools. And then we've got social as well. So this is something that your ideal customer likes or enjoys, but outside of the like particular market interest. So for example, if I'm targeting digital marketers, I don't want to target, like I do want to target digital marketing, but for this, that wouldn't fall into this aspect. I need to think outside of the profession or outside of the direct market that I'm marketing to, what else do they enjoy? So maybe if I'm targeting, if my ideal customer is young guys, 20 to 30 who are into digital marketing, well, maybe a lot of them like to work out. Like a lot of younger entrepreneurs love to go to the gym and work out. So maybe a social interest for my ideal customer as a digital marketer would be like going to the gym, weightlifting, keto, something like that. But again, it could be totally different for something else. Maybe it's a type of music they listen to. Maybe it's another different type of sport that they participate in, something that is external to the direct market that you are marketing to. And we typically start off with 10 of those in the campaign. And again, we're targeting one thing at both levels. So we're testing here, obviously, the interest, and we're testing the image. And it's super important that these ad sets only have one interest per ad set. One of the biggest mistakes I see is that people load up 5 different public figures into one ad set. And the issue with that is, If it works, okay, great, but you don't know why it worked. And if it didn't work, you don't know why it didn't work. Because if you have 5 people, 5 public figures inside of that interest, then what's going to happen is if it works, you're like, okay, well, maybe my ad budget is actually wasted on certain interests, and maybe there's only one interest within the 5 that is actually working and is profitable, but you don't have a clue which one of it is because you've grouped them all together. You can't split test and expect to find good interests if you're combining them all together because you have no clue what wasn't working and what worked. So you need to split it up. One interest per ad set, super important. Then moving on to that, we have campaign number 3, which is lookalikes. So again, it's the exact same structure. Depending on how many custom audiences that you have, we like to start with 10. Maybe you have less. We don't start with any more than 10. But you can see here it follows the exact same structure as campaign 2. But the only difference is we're still testing the creative. So we're still testing image 1, image 2, image 3. We're still using the same ad copy. But the only thing is different here is that we're testing the lookalike interest. So this could be a lookalike of the email list that we uploaded. It could be a lookalike of all website visitors. It could be a lookalike of initiate checkouts. It could be a lookalike of purchases. It could be a lookalike of Instagram Engage 365 days, Instagram Engage 90 days. You get the point, right? Just whatever data you have, try and create 10 lookalikes out of that data, and then we can split test it here. And that is the structure. That is what you should do. One audience / lookalike / cold interest per ad set. You don't want any more than 3 ads within your ad set because it's not going to test it. It's not going to give each ad enough budget to test it effectively. And then basically from there, once we've identified the good audiences and we've identified the best performing image, then we go into testing different pieces of copy, different videos, and different variants of the creative. But again, I won't go into that detail on this video. This was mainly just to show you the structure of your campaign. So I guarantee if you structure it like this, you keep it organized, you separate these campaigns into 3 different campaigns, and you test the variables one at a time, like I just explained, it will not only get you better results, but it will allow you to analyze the data more effectively and make data-driven decisions that drive the performance of your ad account.